storytelling cafe, and it is Stories Friday, so it's stories for children and anyone else. By children, I mean anyone from the age of about 0 to 100. I see Babasi is joining us, and of course he is just a very hairy child. So there's so tonight we have, coming all the way from actually Switzerland is where she is at the moment. I started somewhere in India and then went by magic carpet to Switzerland, and then equally by magic carpet she's in our front room. So we are we are proud. And looking forward to it, and I know Louis is looking forward to this. He looks forward to every Friday, but especially we have the amazing, the wonderful, the astronomical Shelley Verma. Shelley, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, John. Hi, Babasi. It's good to see you here.
And likewise.
Thank you. So, to be very honest, I had no idea until last morning, Louis, which story I was going to tell today. And I was under the weather, I was very sick. But yesterday in the morning, I decided I was going to go into the woods, take my dog for a walk, and then maybe find something that inspires both of us. So as I stepped out of my house, opened the door, stepped out, it was very cold. You know why it was very cold? Can you guess? Louis, can you guess? Babasi, can you guess? Yes, Louis.
Because it's autumn.
It's snowy.
Oh, snowing. Well, it's too early for that. Maybe 2 months from now you can say it was snowing. But you know, the weather is changing. From summer, suddenly we are in autumn. And what happens in autumn? The wind blows. So I zipped up my jacket, I covered myself with a scarf, and I stepped out. The wind was howling, blowing. There were leaves everywhere. And as I stepped into the forest path, I could hear the crunching of the leaves under my foot. And I could see leaves of all colors. What kind of colors do you see? What colors do you see in autumn?
Orange.
Orange, yes. Louis, what colors do you see? Okay, so Louis is busy right now. Yes, Louis.
Brown.
Brown, brilliant. So orange, brown. John, do you want to pitch in too?
Hold on. Red.
Red, very good. And
Yellow.
one more. Maybe the color that Babasi is wearing.
Yellow.
Yellow, yes, absolutely. So there were all these colored leaves on the floor. And then I saw a squirrel. You know, the squirrel, its cheeks were stuffed with the fruit and it was running across the path. Probably it was getting ready for winter. And then my dog started barking. We stepped out of the woods and we got onto the farm. Oh, I could smell the apples on the apple trees. And then I could see something on the ground. You know, something creeping along the ground. Something that you only get during autumn. It's round, it's big, sometimes it is small, sometimes it comes in many shapes and sizes. Do you know what I'm talking about? You can make soup, you can bake a cake.
Pumpkins.
Pumpkin, that's right, Babasi. And that is what the story is about. The pumpkin soup. Are you ready for the story? Wave your hand
Yes.
if you're ready for the story. Yes. We're going to be silly. We're going to be absolutely silly. So I need your help in the story, okay? And if you are sitting on a chair, you have table in front of you, try to make the sound of the drum. Use a pencil, use your hand, just make the sound of drums, okay? When I ask you to. So here is how the story goes. Deep, deep, deep in the woods, there was a cabin. And outside the cabin, there was a garden. And in that garden, what did they grow? What grew? Can you guess? Apples? Oranges? Pumpkin?
John Rowe's friends?
Yes, Louis?
Pumpkins.
Pumpkin, yes, you got it. You're so intelligent. There were pumpkins. There were pumpkins of all sizes, shapes, colors. Now, in that cabin, there lived 3 friends. Meow, the cat, the squirrel, and the quack, 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 quack. Who's that?
John Rowe.
The duck. The duck. So the cat, the squirrel, and the duck. Now the cat loved to strum his guitar. And the squirrel loved to play her drums. Drum roll, everybody, drum, 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 yes. And the duck loved to sing. Quack, 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 quack. Now, but there was one thing they all loved. They all loved soup. Oh, every night from their window there used to be this amazing smell of soup. But not any soup. Pumpkin soup. You know, the pumpkin soup, the best that you had ever tasted. The pumpkin soup made by the cat who sliced the pumpkin. Made by the squirrel who had this amazing wooden spoon who would stir in the water and stir and stir and stir and make the soup. Made by the duck who would tip in just enough salt to make it delicious. And when the soup would be ready, they would slurp, slurp, slurp on their soup, and they would get so excited. And then they would play their favorite song. And not any song. It was their favorite pumpkin song. Okay? So when you're ready, when I say go, hit it. Hit it. Pumpkin, pumpkin on the ground. How did you get so big and round? Once you were a seed so small. Now you are a great big ball. Pumpkin, pumpkin on the ground. How did you get so big and round? Quack, 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 quack. Quack, 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 quack. They would sing this pumpkin song, and they would sing and sing and sing, and then they would get tired and go to sleep in their nice quilt, which was embroidered, which was stitched by the cat, embroidered by the squirrel, and filled with feathers of the duck. So that is how they lived, and they were very happy. It was all peaceful, nice in the cabin. Until one morning, the duck woke up early. And the duck tiptoed, tiptoed, tiptoed into the kitchen. And then it looked over the kitchen counter. There was the spoon. And the duck smiled. It loved that spoon so much. Oh, I wish I could get the spoon. Oh, I wish I could stir the soup. Oh, I wish I could be the head chef. So the duck, he pulled out a stool, he stood on the stool, and with its beak, it got the spoon. And then it went to the room where the cat and the squirrel had just woken up. Oh. Now the squirrel saw that Yes, very good, John, very good. The squirrel saw that the duck was carrying the spoon in his beak. That's mine, give it to me. I am the one who stirs the soup. No, the duck said, I am going to be the head chef today. I am going to stir the soup. Now the cat was not a morning person. Cat didn't like to be disturbed in the morning. Cat wanted to have his cup of tea before getting on with the business of the day, like most of us, right? And the cat was angry. No, let the squirrel do everything. Just go, duck, don't bother us. But the duck wouldn't let go. It held on tight. And so, what did the squirrel do? The squirrel, what did the squirrel do? The squirrel pulled. Did the duck let go? No. And the squirrel pulled. Did the duck let go?
No.
Then what happened? They was pulling and the spoon went up in the air and it hit. Ow! Who did it hit? The
cat.
The cat. Wow! On the head. And the cat was mad. The cat was very angry. And then that was it. All hell broke loose in the cabin. There was a fight. There was a racket. There was a rumpus. And there the duck got hold of the spoon again. And the squirrel pulled the spoon again. Give it to me. And then accidentally the squirrel stepped on the cat's tail. And the cat was screamed in pain and he fell flat out on his face. Oh, there was a lot of screaming. There was a lot of shouting. Finally, the duck started crying. You never let me help in the house. I am going from here. See you. I am not coming back. And so the duck went. Bye. And the cat was still very angry. Yes, go. We know you will be back after we have cleaned up. And the squirrel, yes, go. You will be back, I know that. But did the duck come back? No, not for breakfast. Did it come back for lunch? No, it did not come back for lunch. And the cat, even though the cat was angry, the cat was getting worried. I think he's probably just, the duck is probably just sitting outside, hiding outside. Let's go and look for him in the garden. So the cat and the squirrel, they stepped out of the house. They looked everywhere in the garden. They looked behind every pumpkin. Duck, come out, duck. Come out, duck. But did they find duck? No. So they came back inside. Well, the cat tried to play the guitar. And since the duck wasn't there, the squirrel tried to sing, but they could not hit the right notes. And then, they were looking at the door all the time. They were pacing up and down. Where is duck? Where is duck? Where is duck? And then, did duck come back? No, not even at soup time. But they had to make the soup, right? So what do you need to make the pumpkin soup? You need the pumpkin?
Pumpkin.
Yes. So the cat sliced the pumpkin. And what did the squirrel do? Louis, what did the squirrel do? Stirred in the soup. Stirred the soup. But, the duck wasn't there to put the salt, right? So the squirrel, how much should I put? This much. No, that's not enough. And more. And more. And more. And more. And more. Ah! Did the soup taste good? No! It was too salty. Oh, the cat and the squirrel, they started crying and their tears trickled down from their cheeks and fell into the soup. And the soup was even saltier. And that was it. The cat and the squirrel, they decided that they were going to go out and look for duck. So they stepped out. It was very, very dark. There was no moon in the sky. And the duck and the cat and the squirrel, they were very scared. They stepped into the woods. They could hear all kinds of sounds in the forest. They could imagine the branches sighing. They could hear the branches sighing. And they imagine all kinds of witches and creatures in the forest. And they were scared. Also scared for the duck, because duck was all alone. But they kept on looking for him. Did they find the duck? No. And then they kept on walking, they kept on going, and they reached at the edge of a cliff, a big cliff. And they thought, oh my God, did the duck fall down? So the squirrel said, don't worry, I'm going to go down and look for the duck. So the squirrel went down, all the way down the cliff. But did the squirrel find the duck? No. And again, the cat and the squirrel, they started crying. I think the duck found better friends, friends who let him help. Oh, we're never gonna see the duck again. They were so sad. They were very sad. They were very disappointed. They walked back to the cabin. Now, when they were almost there, they saw that there was a light coming out from the cabin. Who could that be? They ran, they rushed forward, they opened the door. And who was inside? Louis, who was inside the cabin? The duck. Yes, the duck was there. And the duck was so happy to see the cat and the squirrel. And the cat and squirrel were so happy to see the duck. And they were all very hungry. Yes, and they hugged each other. Thank you, Babaji. And they decided they were going to make their favorite pumpkin soup. Yes. And so the cat sliced the pumpkin. And who stirred in the water and the soup?
The duck.
The duck, yes. The duck got the wooden spoon this time. They let him take it. And so the duck, oh, he was so excited. Yeah. I'm the head chef. And he kept on stirring. And he stirred it so fast. But the cat and the squirrel, they did not complain. And he stirred and he splashed the soup around. But the cat and the squirrel did not complain. And then he stirred and he was singing, he was dancing. And the spot got a little burnt. But did the cat and squirrel complain? No! And then the duck showed the squirrel how much salt should go in the soup. And the soup was ready. And it was the tastiest soup they've ever had. They were so excited. They finished all their soup and they sang their song. Do you remember the song? Will you sing with me? Will you try and sing with me?
We'll try.
Yes? Come on. 1, 2, 3, let's go with your drums. Pumpkin, pumpkin on the ground, how did you get so big and round? Once you were a seed so small, now you are a great big ball. Hit it! Pumpkin, pumpkin on the ground, how did you get so big and round? And then the duck said, oh, I am going to play the drums. Uh-oh. And that is the end of this story. Louis, since you were talking about the snow, I'm going to tell you a story about the snow. All right? Yes? Now, let me keep my guitar, my pot, and my pumpkin aside. And you're going to love this story. Now, once when the animals could talk and the humans, us humans, could understand them, there was a rabbit who was jumping in the snow. There was snow all around. It was so beautiful. And the rabbit was so excited. He was hopping, he was skipping, he was hopping, he was skipping here and there. And he was making prints, tracks on the snow. Everything was well with the world. Everything was beautiful. Then suddenly, from behind the bushes, out jumped a fox. And the fox looked at the rabbit and said, "Ha! I am Fox. I am going to catch you and I am going to eat you." And the rabbit screamed, and the rabbit hopped and skipped and ran away from the fox. But you see, he had tracks. He had made tracks on the snow. So the fox followed those tracks to get to the rabbit. And when he followed the tracks, he came to a clearing in the forest. And the tracks, they went round and round and round and ended where an old woman was sitting. Now, this old woman had a blanket wrapped all around her, and she was wearing a very funny hat, which had 2 feathers sticking out of it. So the fox went to the woman and said, "Ha! I am Fox. Old woman, have you seen a rabbit go around here?" And the woman, the blanket wrapped and the 2 feathers sticking out, said, she wriggled her nose. Yes. I did see a rabbit go by here. But you see, it was a very skinny rabbit. There was no meat in his bones. No one would want to eat that rabbit. "Ha!" the fox said, "I am Fox. I am going to catch that rabbit and I am going to eat that rabbit." And the woman said, "Oh, I see. You are a very great hunter. You are definitely going to catch the rabbit. You're probably as great hunter as my son, but he only likes to hunt for one thing. Do you know what that is?" "What? Do you know?" "Louis, do you know?" "Fox." And the fox said, "Oh," and she said, look, he's there, right behind you. He's just come." And the fox turned, and just as the fox turned, the old woman, she took out her blanket, she grabbed a stick, and she hit the fox on its head. Ah! And the fox, he went down. And the rabbit ran away from the fox. And the rabbit ran away. And the fox, when the fox got up, he had a big bump. ouch, on his head, and it hurt. "Oh, I am going to find that rabbit. I am going to catch that rabbit." And so the fox, you see, there were still tracks on the snow. So the fox followed the tracks to get to the rabbit. And when the fox got the tracks, they ended at the edge of a grove of old oak trees. And right there was an old man, right where the tracks ended. And the old man had a blanket wrapped all around his body. And he was wearing a very funny hat. And it had 2 feathers sticking out of it. So the fox went to the old man. "Old man, have you seen a rabbit go around here?" And the old man, he wiggled his nose. Yes. I did see a rabbit go by, but it looked like a very sick rabbit. If anyone would eat that rabbit, they would fall sick too. Oh, the fox. I am fox. I am going to catch that rabbit, and I am going to eat that rabbit. You tell me. And the man said, yes, of course. You seem to be very strong and very determined. You will definitely catch that rabbit. But tell me, son, how did you get this bump on your head? No, I ran into a tree. Oh, you see, son, I have got this magic potion. Why don't you drink it? Sit. Why don't you drink it? And if you drink, you will feel better, and I'll just rub your bump. I'll doctor your bump. Sit down, son. And so the fox sat down. And as he bent down to take the first sip, the old man, he removed his blanket and he grabbed a stick and he jumped high and he hit, ouch, the fox on his head, and the fox went down. And the fox was gone. And the rabbit, he ran away from the fox. And then the fox got up. His head was throbbing with pain. He had a bump on top of the bump on top of his head. And it hurt. Oh, I see what has happened now. That rabbit, he tricked me. Now I know. Now I'm going to catch that rabbit. And if I see anyone or anything with 2 feathers sticking on top, I know it will be the rabbit. And so the fox began to follow the tracks of the rabbit. Now, meanwhile, the rabbit was getting tired. I mean, where was he going to hide? Oh, I thought the fox would give up by now. What should I do? And there on the floor, forest floor, he noticed something that gave him an idea. Now, I'm not going to tell you what he saw, but he hid behind the bushes and he waited for the fox to come. And the fox arrived at the place where the tracks ended. Do you know where the tracks ended? The tracks ended next to an old rotten log, a wooden log. And it had 2 sticks sticking out, and they just looked like feathers. So the fox, he came. This is where the tracks end. But where is the rabbit? This is just an old rotten log. But it has 2 sticks that look like feathers. It must be the rabbit. And then he got so excited, his tail started swishing left and right, and he started sniffing. Well, it even smells like an old rotten log. No. No. I am not going to be tricked again. No. It must be the rabbit. And then the fox took a bite of the log. Achoo! Yeah! It even tastes like a rotten log. No. I am not going to be fooled. It is rabbit. And he stood before the rotten log and he said, Rabbit! Ha ha! I am the fox. I have caught you, and now I'm going to eat you. And he started to take bite after bite after bite after bite. Can you eat like a fox? And he ate and he ate and he ate till he finished the whole log. Now I don't have to tell you how he felt. Ooh, his stomach was hurting. Oh, he was having a bad tummy ache. And it didn't taste so good. He didn't feel good. He felt very sick. And he said, oh, maybe I don't like rabbits after all. I'm not going to have a rabbit ever again. And he, holding his tummy, which was bulging like a ball, he walked back. And meanwhile, the rabbit, he jumped out from the bush and he did his own dance. You didn't catch this rabbit, fox. You didn't eat this rabbit, fox. And he hopped and he skipped and he hopped and he skipped and he played till he got home. I see Babasi is taking his arm out. Babasi, you're muted.
For good reason. You haven't heard me play the harmonica.
Wonderful, and that is how the story goes. Hoo-ha!
Shelley, you've
Yeah?
inspired me. You've inspired me to resume harmonica lessons, because right now, when I play the harmonica, it is anything but harmonious.
You
So
know,
I will be back.
I have to confess, Babasi, I don't know how to play a harmonica.
Then we're both very good actors because we passed it off.
It's just pretend.
Yes. But excellent story. Excellent.
Thank you.
Okay,
thank
John
you.
Rowe, I know. Mute myself. I'm doing it.
Okay. So here's another story. Now, I do want to check on the time. We have time, right?
Hold on. You carry on for another story. We'd love another story.
Okay, perfect. A short story or a long story?
Oh, about 10-15 minutes would do nicely.
Okay, all right. Because I've got 2 stories.
Well, do as many stories as you want. We're
Okay.
not going anywhere.
Okay, I'm just going to do one short story, okay? So this story is about my favorite creature again. Ha! I am Fox. This story is about the fox. And Fox, he lands himself into a trouble. And listen to the story and you will know. Deep in the forest, a hunter dug a pit, to catch the animals. And he covered that pit with dead branches and leaves. And he left. He left to have lunch at home, and he was going to come back later to see if he had caught any animals in that pit. Now our fox was walking around. And the fox was hungry. He was starving. He wanted food. Anything would do. And then as he was walking in the forest, he looked up. He heard some birds. He saw some birds. They were birds flying in the sky. And he said to himself, "Oh, I am the fox. I am going to catch those birds. And I know I can do it." And he was walking and he was saying, "I have 1,000 ideas in my head. I have 1,000 ideas in my head. Which one should I use? Which one should I use?" And he kept on saying, "Which one should I use? Which one should I use?" And he kept on walking and he kept on walking, and brrr, he fell through the dead branches into the pit. But our Mr. Fox, our clever fox, was not scared, was not nervous, was not anxious. He kept on moving in the pit. "Oh, I know I'm getting out of the pit. Ha! I am Fox. I have got 1,000 ideas in my head to get out of the pit. Which one should I use? 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 I have 1,000 ideas in my head. Which one should I use? Which one should I use? I have 1,000 ideas in my head." And he kept on doing this, going round and round and round pit. And he went so fast that he started to stir up dust. And the dust went all the way up. You know who was flying in the sky? A crane. The beautiful crane with her long legs. And the crane looked down. Smoke? It looks like smoke. And the crane was so curious, it went down low to see what was the matter. But as it flew lower, 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 its long legs got stuck in the branches of the pit that were on the pit, and it fell down in the pit and got hurt. And no matter how much she tried, she could not fly. And there she was in the pit with the fox. And what was the fox doing? "Oh, I have 1,000 ideas in my head. I'm getting out of the pit. Which one should I use? Which one should I use? Which one should I use?" And the crane saw the fox doing this, and the crane started pecking. "I have one idea. I have one idea. I have one idea." And the fox looked at the crane. This bird thinks that she thinks that she's going to peck her way out of the pit. The earth is big. The earth is deep. The earth is wide. I am getting out of the pit. It needs ideas. I have 1,000 ideas in my head. Which one should I use? Which one should I use? Which one should I use? And the crane kept on saying, "I have one idea. I have one idea. I have one idea." Now they kept on doing this when they heard footsteps of the hunter approaching the pit. And the fox, he went on going faster and faster. "I have 1,000 ideas. I have 1,000 ideas. Which one should I use? Which one should I use? Which one should I use? Which one should I use?" And the crane stopped and waited. Didn't make a sound. And as the footsteps got closer, the crane pretended to be. And the fox looked at the crane. That silly bird has no courage at all, has no mind at all. It's gone, so scared. Me, I am clever. I have 1,000 ideas to get out of this pit. I have 1,000 ideas. Which one should I use? 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 Now the hunter got to the pit. He removed the branches. And there he saw the fox and the crane. And he looked at the beautiful bird. "Oh, you fox!" He thought that the fox had gotten the crane in the pit. So he picked up the crane by its legs and kept it outside. And the moment he did that, what do you think happened? The crane flew away. And what happened to the fox? Well, the fox became the collar of the winter coat. And that was the end of the story. John, I can't hear you.
That was a wonderful story.
Thank you. And that is exactly how I felt. I have 1,000 stories in my head. Which one should I tell? Which one
Which
should
one should I tell? Which one should I tell? Which one?
You are definitely a foxy lady.
Yes, I love foxes.
So no wonder the young tellers in India are so good, because they have people like you they listen to, and
Thank
with
you.
all those expressions and the little props and everything. I see Jasname is listening, and who's but they have such wonderful role models. So
Thank you,
it's
John.
been a fantastic. Louis, what did you think of tonight?
Pardon, can you say again, please?
What did you think of Shelley's stories? Did you like Shelley's stories?
Yes, I do.
Which one was your favorite story?
Oh, all of them.
All of them. If you had to choose one, I would do eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Oh, I think Louis likes the ones where he could drum.
Ah, yes, yes, that's my favorite story.
Really? Son, really?
Really? Maybe not. Maybe not. Okay, we can have an argument. Look, we can have an argument, Louis.
No, lively discussion.
No.
We don't argue.
A discussion.
We don't argue.
So, the first one was the pumpkin.
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Oh no.
So, did you like that one?
Mom.
No, it's okay. I'm not putting you on.
Mom says yes, but mom says it's amazing. That's my first story, but I'm in agree to my mom.
Yeah, of course you agree with your mum.
Story.
You can't disagree with your mum.
Yeah,
Mom
okay.
I can
said
tell about
the
it.
pumpkin story is amazing, but I'm in agree to my mom. It's quite good anyway. I like the three things: the rabbit, the cat, the squirrel, and the duck. I really listened to the duck who's missing, and it's in the forest on the cabin.
Mm-hmm.
This is it. My mum says, or I say, left the fox, but I would if I think so. Anyway, I love the recipe of the pumpkin seed, but I don't like it anyway. I like the taste of the pumpkin seed.
Louis,
I love the story, but
thank you, Louis.
Thank
That
you.
was really. And Jasname, you only came in towards the end. The last story and a half. Did you like this last stories and a half?
Yes, I loved it. Actually, I was watching it on the YouTube. Then I thought to join.
Oh, that's so sweet of you.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. Well, I'm not going to ask Babasi what he wants. Okay. Okay, Babasi, you can say. I know, Louis. I must let Babasi talk, mustn't I?
I promise not to be as long-winded as you, John. For those who don't know, John and I kid each other. I have the highest respect for John.
As I do.
Okay, so I loved all the story. I love the pumpkin stew story. In Washington, D.C., here in the U.S. of A., we used to have a restaurant called A Bon Pain, which means the good bread. And they used to serve pumpkin soup in a bowl of bread. It was beyond yummy.
Wow.
Okay. The second story I like because I like fox stories because they're tricksters. And, so I like that. But your last story you just told, I thought was par excellence. all your stories are great. You have a great way with telling stories, a great way of playing musical instruments. Because I don't play the drum either. Well, not really. I play half the drum. So I'm really enthralled with your stories. I was
Thank you.
watching Louis' reactions and even John Rowe's
Oh,
reactions.
stop it!
You are an engaging, superlative, special storyteller, lady. Don't stop,
Oh my
don't
God.
stop,
Thank
don't
you so
stop.
much.
and I have to ask, how is Feast going?
Oh, it's been amazing. We have such fantastic programs for children, for adults, even the multilingual stream, telling in different languages. It's amazing. It's been incredible to see the amount of talent that is there in the entire Feast group.
Yeah, I can imagine. And Phil, it's so good to see you.
Yeah, I have a question for you guys. There was something that I read in the paper today, and I thought would be interesting to ask. So, did you know that there is a pumpkin competition, international pumpkin competition that is held in Germany, where they judge on the world's heaviest pumpkin. So this year, Tuscany, which is in Italy, won the award for the heaviest pumpkin. So can you guess how much that pumpkin weighed?
Well, would it have fitted in Phil's van, is the question.
Say that again.
Would it have fitted inside Phil's van?
Yes,
I can carry 1.5 tons in my van, so.
Yeah. The ton and a half would be how much in kilograms?
1,500.
Yeah, you're very close. It was actually
right.
to 1,236 kilograms.
Wow.
Oh,
Okay, for
no
the American, how many pounds is that?
Wow.
Was it about 300 pounds, is it? £2 for every kilo? So about 300 pounds.
I was close.
Very heavy, yep.
600 pounds. 600 is 1,200. That's 600 pounds, isn't it?
Yeah, so it is.
I don't know. That's why I was asking.
Yeah.
I am keeping quiet on this pound and ton. I only know kilo.
No, one. Yeah. Oh, I don't know.
We have pumpkin competitions in the US of A as well, and I understand on some of the lands they call pumpkin chunking or pumpkin chucking contests, and they use all kinds of contraptions like catapults and other devices to see how far a pumpkin can be chucked. Chuck means to throw in that sense. And we have those throughout the United States, particularly in the South. So, so I'm not surprised about the contest in Germany. In fact, it sounds like something we do here as well.
Yeah, that's,
wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Well done, you.
You don't like pumpkin, Louis?
In Scotland, we don't throw the pumpkins. We just throw the trees. We toss the trees.
You think Phil's joking? You watch pictures of tossing the clover.
There in some parts of the US of A where we have a strong Scottish presence, I guess, they have those contests as well.
Yeah.
The United States is kind of like a microcosm of the globe. We have communities of just about every society on Earth. So we have the log. They do the log. I don't remember what the official name for it. But look at me like I'm throwing a log, right? They have the log throwing contest, pumpkin contest, right? We have garlic contest. Do you know there's one state that has garlic flavored ice cream? I haven't had it.
My goodness!
But they tell me it tastes good. We have all kinds of you name it, we probably have it. Everything from crawdash, also known as crayfish. I'm sorry, I got carried away, John Rowe. I'm gonna be quiet, but we have.
Okay, yeah, that's okay. You're allowed to speak occasionally, Baba C. Shelley, it's been a great night. Thank you very much. I must do the parish notices. Say what's coming up. Well, a big round of applause for Shelley Verma before we go any further. Fantastic. And Sunday, this Sunday at 6 o'clock UK time, we have Worldwide Story Round. You're all welcome to come and tell a story on that. This Sunday we're doing Mike Rust from Get a Word in Edgeways is emceeing it, and this Sunday it is scary stories. So if you've got a scary story to tell, come along and tell it on Sunday. Tuesdays, of course, it is our young international tellers. We have Jasname will be there, giving us another fantastic story. And if not, she has to send an absence note. And and then Friday we have and someone you haven't met yet, Baba C, because she's been on before, but before you entered the door, so to speak. We have Juliana Marin from Colombia. And
oh my goodness!
so that's Friday. So that's next Friday. I probably won't be. I'll watch it in retrospect. I'm at a wedding next Friday, and really, it's very bad manners if in the middle of the reception I go, "I'm sorry, I know I'm a close relation, but you know, I've just got to run the cafe."
John, did you get my message about Tuesday? Because I probably aren't going to make it on Tuesday. But could you keep an eye out for?
I'm going to keep an eye out for your two. Yes.
Yeah, just well, no, it's one. I can't remember the name. It's either or Zara.
In your message, I'll make sure they're admitted.
Yeah, because she just needing to build up her confidence. She was what a great idea she has for storytelling. I met her at a workshop this week.
We shall welcome her and make a fuss of her.
Perfect. Thank you.
Wonderful. And we could do with someone else from Scotland. That'd be magnificent. But for now, it is time to thank Ali for driving the magic carpet or piloting the magic carpet.
Yay bo. Vazuri Sana, well done, Ali. Thank you.
Wishing you all a very good night.
Good night.
And thank you once more, Shelley. Fantastic.
Thank you. Thank you for being here.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye, everyone.
Until the next time, to be continued.
Bye. Good night.
Bye bye, Baba C.
Until the next time, Louis.
See you next
One of my favorite people.
See you next week, Baba C.
Yep, see you next week. You're one of my favorite people. Take care of yourself.
Oh, stop it! Bye! Damn it!